Hi everyone, welcome back to Business Studies class. In last class we have seen the part of classification, business classification. That is, as I said, business is classified into two, that is industry and commerce. Okay, and we have seen the part of industry. When I say industry, it means it converts the form of a particular thing. It takes input and it comes out with the output which is essential for the human being. Okay, in that industry we have seen, again, industry is classified into three, that is primary, secondary, tertiary. And primary industries, again, it is classified into two, that is extractive industries and genetic industries. In secondary industries we have manufacturing industries and construction industries. Manufacturing industry is further classified into four, that is analytical, synthetical, processing and assembling. Okay, whereas tertiary, I have said that all those facilities which are necessary for primary and secondary industries are given by your tertiary industries, like it can be transportation, warehousing, finance, insurance, all those things will be done by your tertiary, that is service industry we can say. Okay, so your basic industry is classified into three, that is primary industry, secondary industry and service industries. Your service industries can also be called as tertiary industries. It involves all those services which are very essential for primary and secondary industries to carry on their work. Now we'll see the second part of our classification of business, that is our commerce. When I say commerce, it includes all those facilities which are required to the industries. Okay, listen here. Industries, I said, they convert the form. They'll take the input as raw material and they come out with the output. So this output is the final product. Once they are ready in the factory, what has to be done? They are ready. I have used inputs and I have come out with the output. Then what is the next step? That has to be sold into the market. So the further step of industry is your commerce. So I say commerce, it means it includes all those services which are very essential to carry on the industry. Sorry. Okay, so commerce refers to all those activities which are very essential to carry on or take the output of industry to the final consumers. So your commerce is divided into two here, that is trade and auxiliaries to trade. Trade and auxiliaries to trade. Your auxiliaries to trade can also be called as helpers to trade. Helpers in the sense, those which are helping for the trading. Or it can even said as aid, AID, okay, aid to trade. Okay, let us see what is this trade. Buying and selling of goods is called your trade. Buying and selling of goods is called your trade. So this trade can be of two types again, that is internal trade and external trade. As I told you, to go with the terms you should be familiar with. Okay, so when I say trade, it is buying and selling of goods. So it can be internal trade or it can be external trade. So when I say it is internal trade, again it can be of two types. Internal trade is a trade which is done within a country. For example, production and selling of goods are done within a country. Production and selling of goods are done within the country. As I told you, in industry, goods will be ready, that has to be sold to the market. Okay, if the production and selling those goods are in the same country, we call it as internal trade. What is this trade? Buying and selling of goods is called trade. If it happens within the country, we call it as internal trade. If it happens between two countries, we call it as external trade. As you know, we Indians purchase many products which are produced by the foreign countries. Samsung mobile set we have, isn't it? So it is not from India, but we are using it. How it is available? Because of this external trade. That particular country is able to produce that particular product in their country and able to sell in our country, India. So this is what example for your external trade. Some other products, they will be produced and they are sold within a country, then we call it is a internal trade. So your internal trade is again classified into two, that is wholesale trade and retail trade. Wholesale trade and retail trade. When someone is busy in selling the goods in bulk, when someone is busy in selling the goods in bulk, in more quantity, huge quantity, but the varieties are less, very few varieties, but of huge quantity. You might seen boards like wholesale cloth merchants, wholesale rice merchants, like this you might see. So they are dealing with only few items, but they are able to sell you the quantity of high. If you want to purchase something more, where will we go? Generally we go to wholesale shops. For example, if you want to purchase groceries, provisions for a single month, we go to the retail shops where different types of products will be available. But if you want to purchase a particular product in huge quantity, generally we refer to wholesale shops. Those are the shops where we find few variety of goods but of huge quantity. Some might be dealing only with rice. They will be having different types of rice, but only they deal with rice. They don't deal with any other grains. So such shops are called wholesale shops. So if you are involved, if a particular person is involved in such trade, we call him as a wholesaler. Wholesaler. The one who is engaged in wholesale business is called wholesaler. What he'll be doing? He'll be selling the goods in huge quantity but of less varieties. But it is quite opposite to your retailer. You might observe many street corner shops. You might observe there they will be having wide variety of products but quantity will be less. They might come out with different types of shampoo of different companies, but the quantity what they will be selling will be minimum. In the sense, they don't have much quantity. For example, if you want to purchase a particular shampoo of 1000 pieces, it is not available in that particular retail shop. Then you have to refer to wholesale shop. But if you want to purchase different types of shampoos only of 5 number, quantity is 5 but different types you need, then you can go to retail shop, because a retailer will be maintaining different types of goods, a particular type of good from the different companies, but the quantity what he will be maintaining in his particular shop will be very less. Is it clear? Hence, the one who is engaged in such type of business, we call him retailer. The one who is engaged in selling bulk quantities but with a few varieties, we call him as a wholesaler. You go with the explanation given in the notes, you will be clear. And next part is your external trade. As I said you, if the trade, that is buying and selling of goods, takes place between two countries, as we know, there will be much exports and imports between India and Japan, India and America. Is that clear? So this type of buying and selling of goods between the countries, we call it as external trade. We depend upon many countries for many things. For example, especially for oil, we depend upon many countries. Is it clear? We depend upon those countries in order to import trade. So what is this external trade? It is a trade which takes place. It is buying and selling of goods between two countries. Okay, or it can be more than two countries. But it is between the countries. So first, if I take this external trade, can be of three types again. Three types of external trade we see. First one is import, export and entrepot. What is this import trade? If you start purchasing goods from different countries, it is called import trade. For example, India imports, that is purchases many type of goods from different countries. So I call it as imports. India will sell many types of products to the foreign countries, mainly cotton, silk, honey, we export to the different countries. Even fruits, flowers, we export. Means we sell to the other countries. Many other countries are purchasing those products from India. So I call it as exports of India. If I start purchasing from other countries, I call it as imports. If I start selling my products to the other countries, I call it as exports. So when a trade takes place between two countries, then I'll say imports and export. Then what is this entrepot trade? In entrepot trade, there will be participation of many countries. Example, I'll be purchasing some of the goods from America and I'll be selling that to some of the African countries. Is it clear? I am purchasing the product A, I am purchasing from America and selling that to African countries. Same product, same A product I have purchased it from America and I am selling that same A product to the African countries. It means purchasing with the intention of selling to other countries is called your entrepot trade. I am purchasing some of the goods with not intention of selling it in my country but to export that to other country. Is that clear? So such type of trade we call it as entrepot trade. We purchase a particular product from some country and the same product we are selling to the other country. I may add something to that and then I am selling to the some other country. So such type of trade we call it as entrepot trade. So once again we'll see commerce. Commerce refers to all those activities, all those business activities which are done with the intention of helping your industry, okay, and reaching your final product to the consumer. This is classified into two, that is trade and auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliaries in the sense helpers we say, aid to trade we say. Then this trade is classified into two, that is internal trade and external trade. When a trade takes place within the country, we call it as internal trade. When a trade takes place between the countries, we call it as external trade. So your internal trade is of two types, that is wholesale trade and retail trade. The one who is engaged in wholesale trade, we call him as wholesaler. The one who is engaged in retail trade, we call him as retailer. So what is this wholesale trade? This is buying and selling of goods in bulk quantity with the less varieties. Retail trade in the sense you are selling and buying and selling of goods with more varieties with the less quantity is called your retail trade. This is the part of your trade. Then comes the second part, auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliaries to trade. They are just similar to your tertiary industries. What we study under our auxiliaries to trade are same for your service industries, but the only difference is under tertiary services, what all the activities we carry on like transportation, finance, insurance, warehousing, all those will be concerned with the primary and secondary industry. In auxiliaries to trade, what all the things we consider, those will be helpful for the trade. For example, I'll tell you. I told you internal trade, that is wholesale trade if you consider. Wholesaler is a person who starts selling huge quantity of goods with less variety. If you want to sell them, what he want to do, he has to sell the products, means the product has to be exchanged from the wholesaler to the purchaser. How it moves from one place to another? It is with the help of transportation. So transportation is one of the auxiliaries to trade. The same transportation we study under tertiary industry, but that will be helpful for whom? Primary and secondary industries. But if the same transportation if we study under auxiliaries to trade, it is a helper to trade. As a basic heading itself says, helpers to trade. In order to buy and sell the goods, these services are very essential. Transportation. What is this transportation? Movement of goods from one place to another. Say I am a wholesaler, you are the purchaser. So I want to sell my goods to you, or else you want to purchase something from me. Then the goods has to be transferred from my place to your place. Then how it will be exchanged? With the help of transportation it is. Is it clear? Similarly, if the goods has to be transported from my place to your place, there is a risk in between. That is, my goods might be stolen when they are in transport. When they are moving from one place to another, there might be a risk of what? They might be stolen, theft, okay, or it can be accident. accident may take place when the goods are in transportation, that is transit we say. Okay, when the goods are in the transit, even accidents may take place. Then what happens? Goods will be, the wholesaler or the purchaser may lose goods, means the money what he has spent on that might be wasted. In order to cover such type of risk, we take the help of insurance. When I want to send my goods from my place to your place, I take insurance over that goods. So in between something happens to my goods, it is the insurance company which pays to me. It might be the wholesaler or it might be the purchaser. If purchaser takes the insurance company pays money to the purchaser if goods are stolen. If a particular vehicle met with an accident, so the goods were destroyed, your money what you have invested in goods wasted, then if you have taken insurance over that goods, then the insurance company will pay you the money, the worth of goods what you lost. Is that clear? So one more thing, see for example, goods are ready with me now, but immediately I may not have any purchaser to purchase my goods. So until I find purchaser or until the purchaser comes to me and purchase the goods, I have to store my goods in the safe place. If I don't provide safety of goods, there might be deterioration of quality. That is, the quality of the goods may be deteriorated, destroyed. You might see expiry dates on every product. It means if you use the product after that expiry period, actually what you have to get satisfaction from that product you may not get, and even sometimes that product may become poisonous in some cases. But in some other products what happens, if you use that product after expiry date, the taste may not there, the actual strength what you have to receive from that product may not be available to you. Hence, the goods has to be used within the expiry dates, isn't it? Similarly, if you don't provide right safety for your goods, there will be deterioration of quality. Even theft problem will be there. Hence, it is the wholesaler who has to safeguard his goods until there is purchase. Hence, what he is need? A warehousing in need. So because the production time, that is because the goods available with the wholesaler and the time taken to purchase those goods by the purchaser differs. For example, today as a wholesaler, I have purchased goods from the producer and goods are ready with me. Okay, goods are ready with the wholesaler. Do you think immediately purchasers will come and purchase the goods? No, I have to safeguard my goods until they are sold to the customers. Hence, what I need? I need a place where I can store my goods in a safe mode. That is what you are warehousing. So, warehousing is one of the auxiliaries to trade we study. And next, even banking and finance also. Banking and finance. See, in order to do trade, I need money. See, for example, if I want to involve in wholesale trade, I want to purchase goods from the producer, from primary and secondary industries, I have to purchase, then the goods are ready with me, and whenever the person comes, I have to sell him, isn't it? So, if I want to purchase from the producer, I have to pay money to the producer, but I don't have money, I am not sound enough to pay the money. So, what I have to do? I can go to the financial institutions or banking so that I can take loans. So, even your banking and finance becomes your auxiliaries to trade. So, in this way, you have to understand this. All these auxiliaries to trade will be helpers to trade. And the same auxiliaries to trade, what we are seeing in the transportation, warehousing, the same thing we will be seeing in tertiary industry, that is service industry. The only difference is transportation under tertiary industry will be helping for the primary and secondary industries. Transportation under your auxiliaries to trade will be helping your trade. Is that clear? So please go with the explanation once again, and as I sent you notes through WhatsApp group, write down the notes. While writing, try to recall the explanation and write down. If you come out with any doubts, you can just call me. My number is available in WhatsApp group. Group information, you can go there. There you will be finding my number. So you can have a call. We can have a discussion if you really have a doubt. Hope you will do so. Till we meet in our next class. Take care. Bye-bye.